like. Groovy podcast hosted by inebriated people. That's Kai with the cracking voice and Heather's touched by evil. One thinks he's Spider-Man, the other is a ninja. It's the Man I Love Fun podcast, it's the MILFcast.
Hello everyone and welcome to another MILFcast. This is the Man I Love Fun podcast. I am your host Kai. Thank you for joining us on another one of these mini episodes. Joining me as always is my co-host Heather Baxendale. Say hello, Heather.
Hello everyone.
I heard part of that. It all crapped out. It was super loud. I have no idea what happened.
Am I loud again today?
You sound loud. We'll figure that out at some point. I also have
Okay.
to shift my hat because it's doing one of these things. But the problem is left is right and right is left on Twitch, so I always go the wrong way. But there we go. Now it's just not
There
right.
is no wrong way. Left turn, Clyde.
I want to thank everybody that came out and joined us on Sunday for the MILFcast game. That was like a big hit. We had a lot of people there, and it was a lot of fun. I'll be sending out all the prizes for that this weekend. I also want to update everyone. I just have like a couple announcements real quick before we get in the show. I just all my shows that I scheduled for 2020 for my art stuff. 2020 was a big year for me. I scheduled like a bunch of great events. It was like my best setup I've ever done. And then COVID happened. I literally announced my lineup like 7 days before we went into lockdown. So now they're all rescheduling towards the end of the year. California's about to open up. I'm vaccinated. The case counts are down very low, and it looks like it's going to happen. So I just want to tell everyone I will be doing the 626 Night Market, 7/9 to 7/11, July 9th to 11th. I will be doing the 626 Night Market on Labor Day weekend. I will be doing the 626 Night Market at the OC Marketplace on 10/22 to 10/24. I'll be at LA Comic Con at the end of September. I'll be at Designer Con in the middle of November, November 12th through 14th. And I will be at Comic Con Revolution December 18th and 19th. So if you guys attend any of those events, please come by my booth and say hello. So that's that for that. And then the last thing I want to mention is my best friend of 30 years, someone I've known since 11, turned 43 today. Her birthday is exactly 2 weeks apart from mine. Her name is Angie. She was actually one of the early guests we had on the show.
Remember?
Yeah, Angie's like a sister to me. She's like one of the best people in the world. Has always been so great to me. When I went through hard times, was always there for me. I try to do the same for her, but somehow she's always more adult than I. She's also one of the funniest
Somehow.
people. Yeah, somehow. One of the funniest people in the world I know. She has worked really hard in recent years to get a lot of toxicity out of her life and do things that are better for her and become a better person. And she's like one of those people that has had children later in life. I'm at a point where my kids are ready almost to move on, and she's just starting. And she has these two little fucking Nephilim children. They're like giants. And my sister-in-law actually has the Fallbrook, the town my wife grew up in, has the Fallbrook record for the largest children ever born. They were like 14 pounds or some shit. They're ridiculous. And they're all like 6'5" and gigantic. And they tower next to Angie's children. They're seriously Nephilim giants. They're going to grow to be 30 feet and rule us all. They're adorable. And they're not fat. They're not tall. They're just gigantic. I think her son at 6 months was wearing 18-month and 24-month-old clothing. So, one thing Angie and I commented, at some point after high school, she actually moved in with me and my family and stayed in the room next to mine. And around the year 2000, they would do all these end of the, millennium shit, and they did like the best comedians, and we would watch these over and over. We love stand-up comedy. So, a couple occasions where we both died. One was, we're both laughing in our rooms separately, and I'm like, what are you watching? And she's like, Mitch Hedberg. And I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, Mitch Hedberg. And we both ran in and watched it together. The other one we fell in love with, which is kind of weird, is Paula Poundstone. So Paula Poundstone, if you don't know it, has been doing comedy forever. She's a female comic that owns a stage the same way Seinfeld or Robin Williams does. She's just got a great presence on stage. We have quoted her for 20 plus years now. And the funny thing is, the joke we quote is not that funny. She was making cinnamon toast, and she inhaled some, and sneezed, and went back and hit the counter and knocked herself to the ground. And she's like, I'm going to die by cinnamon. And that's horrible. I'm not going to do this joke any good, by the way. I'm not going to do any credit. But she's like, what would that eulogy be like? And they'd be like, she loves spices. So she loves spices is something we've quoted forever. So I saw that Paula Poundstone was on Cameo. And I was like, for 6 months, I'm like, I'm going to buy this for my best friend on her birthday and have Paula Poundstone say she loves spices to her, and this is going to be great. So Sunday night, because it takes a few days, I go on there to buy it for her, and Pull Up Poundstone's not available. And I text my friend and I say, hey, your gift isn't available. I'll let you know it might be a little bit late. That night I get a notice, Pull Up Poundstone's available. So I bought it. But the response from my friend is classic, because she goes, that's okay. I actually look for you. I was going to buy you toys, but whenever you want toys, you buy them yourself. So I wasn't going to do that. In fact, you don't need any more, because if there's an earthquake, you're going to be buried under all your toys. You're going to go to your funeral, and they're going to say, he loved action figures. And she quoted Paula Poundstone and sent me 2 GIFs of Paula Poundstone, and that's when I knew I had the perfect gift. So today, I got to send her the video of Paula Poundstone on her birthday, saying hi to her, telling her how special life is, and telling her I love her and all that stuff, and it was really sweet, and she really liked it. So I'm actually...
Oh, that's awesome.
excited. And I would just want to give her a little shout-out on the show and say, happy birthday, Ange. I love you.
Happy birthday.
Now we'll do stupid shit. So what are we doing? Are we going to do an update on the socials? Are we getting right in tonight? What are we doing? Hello, everyone in the chat.
Hi, everyone in the chat. Hi, everyone in general. Please be happy and hi. We did a couple things on the socials this week. One was pretty split. It was board games versus video games. I figured that would be a good follow-up. I did too. I love board games, but I definitely felt like I was going to go towards video games. And somebody made a really good point too. They said, well, you can play video games by yourself. Board games, you need people, which is what I struggle with the most.
Oh, yeah? Let's play some solitaire, motherfucker. Here's my other question. Do you bond harder? Because everybody's always like, let's get a board game out. We'll just like spend time talking. And everybody's like, ugh. But then it's actually pretty fun. But do you bond more doing like Monopoly with the family? Or do you bond more like one-on-one sitting with your person next to you playing a game? Talking shit. Like
sometimes I guess it would really depend on the game. Mike and I still have, we call them dates. We'll sit there and say, hey, you want to get out like old ass Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and then we'll just go shoot bots for like 2 hours.
That sounds like porn.
Or get on. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's foreplay. Call of Booty, yes. Or we'll hop on GTA and both drive fast cars, and he usually drives me into the ocean and I drown, and it's very sad. But it starts off good. So I'll jump in the car while he's driving, and that's ultimately what happens, or flying. But we call them dates. We go on dates. So we still do that, and that's actually fun. But the board games, yeah, it's definitely different. I think we still on holidays here, we pull out board games after we have dinner.
What's the go-to?
So if anybody's here after, my mom's side of the family always did that on holidays, and it was my favorite thing. Even if they were just playing cards, like I remember sitting on my Uncle Brian's lap and them playing bullshit, and I was like, it's a card game. They're swearing. I thought it was hilarious.
What is the go-to game for your family though?
Actually, lately we've been playing How Do You Meme? Have you seen that one?
I have.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's good for everybody. Everybody can participate in that kind of thing. It's a good after dinner thing, and if people have been drinking too, they can catch on quickly to it.
My problem is like the people in the family have different levels of memes. Like my wife catches the stuff that is filtered down from 4chan and Reddit all the way past Facebook. My kids think they're ahead of me because they watch outlandish memes and weird memes and YouTube memes, and I'm pretty on top of it. But like they'll say shit sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know that one. So I'm always afraid we play that game and I'll be like, I
don't have to. You don't have to even know what a meme is. All they are images that have been used in popular memes, and then you get, it's kind of like what's the other game you have, but you get like 7 or 8 cards in your hand, and they have some kind of line on them, like I just farted chocolates, and they have a picture of a dog who looks sad, so you toss yours in, and then someone else shuffles them all up, and if you have like 10 people playing, you look at it and go, oh, well, I think this one is the funniest, and then they win. So we have a Game of Thrones edition too, so we have just pictures of like Joffrey or Cersei looking pissed off. It's fun. You don't have to know what a meme is to play it. That's one of the things that's good about it. Fredbug says it's a fun game.
Yeah, and Lovely said earlier that like anyone that's done the cinnamon challenge feels Paula Poundstone, and that's true. This is like the cinnamon challenge before the cinnamon challenge. Have you know about the cinnamon challenge, right?
Yes.
Do you?
I'm trying to figure out what the TikTok meme gen and Reddit meme gen.
This is what I'm talking about.
Those are specific like TikTok memes and
get off my lawn,
like
freckled lush.
It's freckled Kush. I believe that is
Oh my God.
a strain of dope.
Let me get my glasses. I can't read what the kids are saying about the fucking meme.
The kids are talking about the Kush again.
God.
It's just a thing. I know. I'm just going along with it. It's fine. All right. But yeah, I don't get deep into those. I actually got on Reddit when it first came out, and then I abandoned it quickly. So now I'm like, I was old school with that shit. I was promoting my first
the funny thing
website on there.
My best friend that I was talking about, I used to go to her house, and her buddy, I guess they're friends. Her husband is the one that introduced me to 4chan, which there's a lot of interesting shit on 4chan, and there's a lot of fucked up shit on 4chan. I'm not a regular visitor of 4chan. I'll take the watered down Reddit and social media versions of most of that stuff.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah,
no 4chan.
Yeah,
no 4chan. No. Okay.
When it's not being racist, it's being completely immoral. So there you go.
Okay, so it's a black deep hole to get into.
It is. You're just going through a chat and you see like Tupac's autopsy, and you're like, I gotta go, dude. I don't need.
Yeah,
that.
I can't do that. and I would it's like a car crash. If I see it, I want to know what's going on too. So I'm not going to be able to turn away. It's terrible.
So what was the winner?
Oh, video games just edged out board games, but it was actually a lot closer than I thought. Of course, we had people like Jason Soto, who actually used to host a show called Cinegamer, where he did nothing but play board games that were somehow connected to movies, which still to this day, I can't believe that there were actually enough for him to carry on that series for like years. Very impressive. But of course, he opted for board games. The problem is, like, a couple other people did.
Go to Target and pay attention. Like, I walk by the board games most of the time, but then the other day, or a few weeks ago, I went to go get a game for us to play because we've been integrating that into our like trivia night, and I was like, holy shit, there's like hundreds of new games that I've never heard of for board games. There's all the classics too. And by the way, Monopoly, you gotta fucking stop. Like, we don't need a Monopoly for everything.
Yeah, Kai, ask me how many Monopoly I have. I think I have 10 of them at this point.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one is either the Game of Thrones one or the Firefly one. I have a Mass Effect one. I have a Nintendo one, a Star Wars one, a Lord of the Rings one, a regular version. We just got a U of M one from our friends Patrick and Morgan. They donated. And for Christmas, we got one that's called the Anti-Monopoly game, which we still haven't played yet, but I'm looking at.
So Glovey said stop making them, but also I want some more. She's not wrong. Tapeworm said Battle Shits is the best, which I think is where you both eat really spicy Mexican food and you sit there and see who can hold it the longest, or what?
Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to pass on that one, and I'll go straight to Edward 40 hands and do that instead.
It's too many hands.
It's 2 40s in your hands, and they're duct taped to your hands, and you have to drink them. Yeah, I'd opt for that game. That I'm more comfortable with. No, 2 just butt ices, please, and I'm good for the night. Actually, 3.
Somebody keeps saying Triopoly is 3 level Monopoly, takes forever. Monopoly, like, okay, since I'm just gonna bring everything back around the beginning. For those of you that missed the opening, I apologize, but Dane Cook back in the day had a great joke when he was just doing stand-up, which was every Monopoly game ends with like, fuck it, I quit, with somebody flipping over the board game because somebody's pissed.
So, I've almost done that with my own child.
Sounds horrible. That's 3 times bigger.
Brosnan and I, when we started playing, I think he was probably like 7 or 8, and then Allie would play with us too, but she was young enough that she didn't actually like play. She would be done pretty quickly. But we had Star Wars and we were playing, and Brosnan just started kicking my ass at like 7 or 8, and I'm like, fuck this game. I have great strategy. Things just aren't working out for me, and I wanted to rage quit with my little tiny kid. I didn't, but I almost did. And then subsequently since then, until COVID, I never won a Monopoly game. I lost to both my dragons, and then I continually lost to Mike. I believe my brother I've lost to in there somewhere, and
okay,
yeah,
Heather,
it's been ungood. Heard of what Monopoly?
Have you ever won? Because this started with like, I have strategies, and now it's like everyone beats
That's why it's so frustrating, because there's so much of luck involved too. And I believe that some people make up their own rules. Yes, I won for the first time during COVID. We did like every weekend we were doing board games. It was great. And I won Monopoly, and I kicked ass at Monopoly. I have pictures to prove it.
For the
And for the
Pissed
first
at
time
Monopoly does not
ever.
need a photo document it. It feels like a
I
one-time win.
didn't document it, and then I brought it up today, and I'll talk about it whenever anyone will listen because it makes me happy. Yes, my brother always wins at Monopoly. He's another one. I prefer to play Risk myself, but most people don't want to play Risk.
Oh, that's like nations and shit.
Yes, it is, and I have various versions of that too. I still have a Game of Thrones one that is unopened that I need to play with.
How many fucking Game of Thrones okay, fuck how many
I
Monopolies
have like
you
5
have.
versions of Game of Thrones everything. I have a Game of Thrones chessboard. I have Lord of the Rings. I think I have more Lord of the Rings stuff than I have Game of Thrones. So
It's all fantasy driven. I need some sci-fi.
it is.
You know where I hit the the edge? I went to Walmart here in our town and they had a Temecula is the big city that's kind of right next to us, and they said they had a Temecula version of Monopoly. And I'm like, all right, like, come on. Like, I don't need that.
Do you?
They're making local versions of Monopoly?
Why not? If they had like an
Yes.
Inkster Monopoly, I'd definitely pick that shit up. There'd be some guns. There'd be some beauty shops. There'd be tons of liquor stores. I would be so excited. I would fucking play the shit out of Inkster Monopoly. And I think everybody that's from southeastern Michigan would agree with me.
No.
Mostly people from Inkster.
That's fine, but the whole idea was that you had Baltic and Mediterranean. It sounded like this hotsy-totsy New York, like, city realm that you lived in, and now it's like the street next to where you live. I can
don't
break
think
out of my
anyone-
local jail. I don't need $50.
Someone has broke out of the Inkster jail. I know them personally. Inkster rules, Tapeworm says. Indeed. Dark Monkey said a wig shop. He's local also.
I need Dark
Yes,
Monkey to
and 14
explain
liquor
Triopoly
stores.
in better detail. Because it almost sounds like a college frat game where they just put like those red solo cups upside down and stack the board 3 high and play some weird-ass 3-dimensional version of it.
Do you remember the drinking game Chandeliers?
No.
Okay. I mistakenly thought Chandeliers actually somehow involved chandeliers when we played. And I still don't remember how to play because I was always drunk when we started playing, so I never learned how to play.
Never
I was
start a
just
drinking
curious.
game when you're drunk.
Please! There was like 4 years where I was just drunk. There was no time to stop or start. It was just a continuation.
Me too. It's always the last 4 years. Cheers, chatters. It's a
Boards-
Monopoly game. The board
boards-
stack inspire
So
each
it's
other.
so it's like Jenga Monopoly.
Oh,
I'm
that sucks.
so not playing that. I'm clumsy. I can't do those kinds of things.
Jenga's fine. Okay, so
Jenga's a game.
the town I live in has a lot of breweries and wineries. So like Temecula, the big city next to us, has a ton. They're known for wine country. They're like the Southern California like wine area. Our town right next door has all the fucking breweries, and it's legit. But every one of them has the giant Jenga game that's like 6 feet tall, where they're like wood pieces the size of bricks. You guys have those too?
I don't think so.
Okay. Imagine Jenga, only it could break your foot.
I'm not playing that game because I'd break my foot.
Okay. Come on.
So. I mean, it would be. Oh, Lovely says every gathering I go to has giant Jenga. Oh my god.
Yeah, another.
That's. I
marketing
think like my generation, the version of that was Twister at parties where people thought that was like really cool to pull out Twister,
Tapeworm
which it was.
remembers
It
Temecula.
wasn't.
Was she here?
He remembers that place, yeah. Tapeworm must. Oh, Southern California, yeah.
Where's Tapeworm from?
Naked Twister. Tapeworm is from Detroit,
Oh, so.
but
right next to
military.
Southern California.
So
Oh, Pendleton.
yeah, Pendleton, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
makes sense.
Ko Cray loves
Oceanside.
dangerous giant Jenga. Then not just a clever name, Ko Cray.
I have saved several children from giant Jenga. Like the parents are there and we're drinking and they have like their pop and they're coming like, I want to touch the block, and like all of a sudden I'm diving to save a child under a 6-foot wood pile.
It seems like not wise at all. I
It's really not.
don't quite get it. It's got to be a warm state.
Everything's
Let's
gotta be
do this
bigger.
outside at
It's like the
parties thing.
Triopoly of Jenga. It's Jenga but larger.
Well done. Nice how you brought that
I'm gonna
around.
bring it around all night. Like that ass.
All right. Bam, bam, bam.
Giant Jenga is not that big. It's like 4 or 5 foot tall, and it sits on a small table. I said 6. I was way off.
Way off. I don't know. Hey, 6 feet tall compared to your 4 feet is totally reasonable in man feet and man inches.
I misunderstood.
That
'cause it was on
that
the
means
table.
exactly the same thing. Yeah, it's totally fine. it actually makes sense.
Oh, that's Mrs. Kiderman. I don't know how she knows she's so small. It must look 8 feet to her. I'm 6 feet tall, so I can see exactly how tall it is.
It still sounds slightly dangerous, but I could get hurt in just about any setting. I'm quite clumsy. I can play athletics well, but aside from just like walking and trying to exist, it's difficult. The bread bug said one of my fellow bread bugs fell and broke their foot. That's a rough day.
So there's proof that it can break a foot. So Mrs. Spider-Man, who just said it's not going to break your foot.
Apparently, it's dangerous for bread bugs. And what can I say?
How many bread bugs are there? And do I need to check my bread before I eat it?
I think that there's only one because there is the bread bug. It doesn't sound like there are more.
One of my fellow bread bugs, therefore...
Several.
See?
The bread bug said that there is several bread bugs. So I guess we should all be on high alert from now on. Especially if the one that moves slowly because their foot was broken from giant Jenga.
They live in a cave. Bread bugs
and they live in Skyrim.
Now you're going to...
That's where I am. I'm in some spider cave in Skyrim right now.
So what are we doing
the last 3 years?
As much as I love all this riffing.
Yeah, this is fun. Well, we can do whatever we want. Isn't that how it goes? So we tried something on the interwebs today, and we only had one person that was like actively participating, and then we had a couple people who did, but they weren't funny, so I'm not putting their stuff on here.
We did do this last minute. So in fairness, like we were like we had an idea for tonight.
We have two things, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, let's try this, and like we threw it up before the show, and it was too late. We should have given it the week. So my bad, guys.
Yeah, well, we would have had more time to accumulate, but CP2 Devil was participating, but not really helping, while Dark Monkey submitted many great questions. So the idea is we were going to ask our viewers, which you guys can also do in the chat tonight. We were going to ask if you guys had any questions you wanted to ask us, but the request was that they be very strange, bizarre, or weird, and in turn of answering. Yeah, we're going to take them super seriously and try to answer them as serial as we possibly can.
Yes.
So just to fuck it all up.
Not ask us serious questions and we'll try to be funny. You ask something ridiculous and we'll take it serious, because that sounds like it's going to work.
Yep. So I have 7 of them that I kept that I thought were good and didn't necessarily make sense, which I think makes more sense. And we can play with them.
Breadbug is asking if they can go first. I'm going to say no because Heather's got one triggered, but you can throw one
I
in
don't.
the chat.
Breadbug can go first. Go for it, Breadbug. You go first. Ask a strange question.
There's a delay, though. What are we going to do?
There is. I don't know. It's like 3 seconds long.
Let's just wait and stare back at them.
They said, where is the treasure?
It's a very good question.
Okay. Would you like to answer first, Kai, or should we work this out together? Do you know a bit about the treasure? Do you know who has the treasure? Do you?
Yeah.
Who has it?
I'm not sure if I can say. See, here's the thing.
You should say.
Here's the thing I've learned from every movie where someone stumbles upon treasure. It belongs to someone else, and you should probably just leave it the fuck there.
That's true. But that's not the question. We're supposed to tell the bread bug who has the treasure. We need to know. I am going to say it's a creeper.
That's great that you're saying who, but again, you need to read past the name. He said, where is the treasure?
Just now like it's who has it.
Now it's who has it? No, I'm telling you.
One-eyed Willie disagrees. Okay, we're having some serious arguments about the treasure, but I have to tell you about the treasure. The question was posed to Kai and myself, which means we know the answer.
Which is
we're taking it very seriously.
Where, not who. The original question is
where is the treasure? It's in a pineapple under the sea. That's where I believe it is. Is that where it is, Kai?
No, I was trying to say that place in Michigan that you said earlier, and I can't remember it. So I'll just say it's in Temecula.
Inkster. It's in Inkster.
I thought you were saying gangster the whole time. We need gangster monopoly. I was like, fuck yeah, Boys in the Hood. Let's do it.
It's the same thing. It's fine. Inkster is sort of that.
Yeah.
That works. Or as we call it,
correct answer is up your ass and to the left.
Sounds like that's not a lot of treasure. Okay, so there's your answer. I said in a pineapple under the sea. Tapeworm said there is no treasure in Inkster. The before time says Poison Oaks, Michigan. Michigan. Okay, so apparently the treasure is somewhere in a weird place in Michigan.
So good luck, Breadbug, because you have 19 places to go now searching for the treasure. It should be an adventure, which all treasure should start with an adventure. Absolutely.
I think so. All right. Well, let's ask one of Dark Monkey's questions. Does a straw have one hole or two?
That's ridiculous. It has 2 holes.
It does have 2 holes.
Unless you
I don't think that's debatable.
Unless you bend it at the restaurant and then it has 3 holes and it's fucking annoying and it bubbles the whole time and you can't get the proper suckage to get the thing all the way up the straw.
It's true. If you stab it with many things too, which sometimes happens when you have children or cats like to chew on them and there becomes holes in them too. So yeah. 70s Richard says 1 long hole.
I disagree.
Well, yeah, that's a nice argument, but it's wrong.
What if I bend it in half? Is it still 1 long hole?
No.
Nope.
It's a prism. Allie said Birdman was a treasure in Inkster.
Okay, here's my argument to the 1 long hole, because I see what they're going for. It's 1 long hole.
Like a wormhole.
The pixie stick is the straw of candy, and one end is closed. That does not have 2 holes. That has 1 hole. A straw has 2 holes.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
And because you can cut off one end, yet the other end still remains open while you're smushing that end.
Yes.
It means there's 2 holes.
Let me take a lighter and burn the bottom half of the straw, and then you tell me if it's 1 long hole or if it's 1 hole. Did I just get signed out of Zoom? I don't even know what just popped up on my... Are you still there?
I'm here. We're here. We're still going.
Well, that's
We're still going. I'm looking. Although you can see the signed out option there. That's right. Don't you look at our passwords and names. People actually go ahead. It's totally cool. Call
There's
us.
infinite holes creating the illusion of 2 holes. That's some deep Adventure Time shit right there.
I like that. That is Adventure Time stuff. Oh, Brosnan would appreciate that.
So
I do like that one though.
What is one of the questions you got through the socials?
That was one of them. This is another one. Is cereal soup?
Somebody said so do those ice pops, which means their mom didn't have the money to buy Otter Pops.
What are Otter Pops?
Otter Pops are the brand name ice pops.
Oh, we have Freeze Pops. They're called Freeze Pops or Ice Pops.
You didn't get the little otters, like cartoons, on your pops?
Dude, no, they just say Freeze Pop on them and they cost like nothing. They still only cost $3
Yeah,
for like
no,
a
you
bag
get like
of
100 of them
30.
for like $1. But my point is, you don't know what Otter Pops are?
No.
There's literally Funko Pops of Otter Pops.
What?
Of
course there's Funko Pops of it. Of course there's Funko Pops of it.
I'm blown away. You don't know what Otter Pops are for real?
I know what they are because you just told me, and it's not like it's rocket science. I've got that part figured out. We just did not have specifically them. Okay, so did anyone who's in the chat or anyone who's watching this later, please put it in the comments. Did any of you in Michigan area or different parts of the country grow up without Otter Pops and are unaware of what Otter Pops are?
Texas is there. I know Texas is there. That's pretty close to over here.
Let's see here. The Bread Bug has heard of them. Bread Bug is local to Michigan. So
here's what my buddy used to do to drive me nuts. He would crack the freeze pop at the top. You don't tear the top of a freeze pop. You bite the top, you take that little ice cube at the top, you eat that, you got your straight opening. He would suck all the juice out until all he had was a long ice cube with a little bit of juice down at the bottom. That's not enjoyable in my opinion.
Oh, I enjoy it. I just did the fuck out of that today or yesterday or someday because they're back.
Did say hoity-toity? I love that word.
Yes.
Things my mom says.
I didn't type that. It was supposed to be Michiganders in the chat, folks. But now that I said it out loud, I sound like our governor.
I love when middle class people use hoity-toity because it's like, oh, like we paid $79 for a hotel, but they put a chocolate on our pillow. How hoity-toity? That's not hoity-toity. You're still in a $79 hotel, like, but it makes you feel good.
It's not literal, and it's making fun of it. It's being sarcastic in the first place.
Hollyweird has taken over the frozen treat market. The before times. That's not true. This goes back to like these things have been around longer than me. It's like a goddamn.
We have a couple of people that I know have moved around. CP Devil said that they've seen them everywhere. Everyone that's local to me, though, so far in the chat that has mentioned it has no idea what they are, or they've heard of them, but they're not from around here.
Do you have Klondike bars, or do you just have vanilla sandwiches?
Yeah, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know what I've done for a Klondike bar?
I thought it was not much or too much.
Actually, they're not as great.
That's the funny thing. looking at me like that over at Klondike, and I'm like looking at you like over an Otter Pop. Same thing.
But Klondike's a regular name brand thing. I expect that to be across the country. There's commercials for them. I've never seen a commercial for an Otter.
No, there's no commercials. This is the funny thing. This would fit into our other discussion that we talked about, because I could have sworn everyone knew Otter Pops just like Klondike.
That's so weird. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Is CP2 Devil?
Pops or Ice Pops. Devil. There's different variations of that too. CP Devil's been on your side, but yeah, for once CP Devil says they agree with you. But so far that's the only person who's hardcore going with them being around, whereas pretty much everyone else is saying they've either heard of them but not seen them, or no.
It's the same thing. They just mark them up $1. That's all.
Well, they have different variations of that here too. I just couldn't tell you what they're called. I don't
honestly,
give a shit.
Here's the weird thing. Funko.
I look at
Funko has a whole line.
What is the cheapest? Because they're all the damn same.
Funko Pops have a whole line of Otter Pop Pops, which makes me think they're just part of the zeitgeist. Because all they do is capitalize on zeitgeist.
CP Devil. I've seen them in freezers in like 30 states. Well, that's fantastic. They don't come to Michigan.
The lower half. All right. What else? What else we got?
Okay. Oh, yeah. We never made it past this one. Is cereal soup?
Is cereal soup?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think technically you could argue it is.
What do you do with
I've had soup. I mean, what's your basis for soup then?
Well, you would have to say soup is hot, and that's going to be your argument. But then you get
that's not true, because there's cold soup. There's tons of cold soup. That's my point.
Yeah, I think gazpacho or some shit is cold or whatever.
Yeah, there's several different kinds of soup that's served cold or chilled.
You take hard items and you marinate it, and you put it in your mouth with a spoon.
Mrs. Keiderman is saying cereal is not soup. Okay, then what would the argument be for that? Because I'm trying to really break it down.
See, this borders on the hot dog hamburger is a sandwich question, because you have meat between two pieces of bread.
Okay, there's someone in the chat too. CP Devil just said, I don't eat cereal with milk, so I say no. I'm the same way. I don't put milk in my cereal. I never have.
What do you put in?
I put it in. I'll put it in like
a normal
I don't drink anymore, but that might have worked at some point in my life. No, I'll put it in a cup, or I just put it in a small bowl and I eat it as a snack. I keep them in baggies because I eat things like Kix and Cheerios and.
No, because then we get into the discussion: is cereal a what's the little snack item that looks like a funnel? Like the little, is it a
Bugles?
Is it a bugle? Is cereal a bugle?
We have Bugles here. I was going to ask if you had Bugles out by you, because I didn't know if that was a local one.
Thank God those weren't Otter Pops. Here's the thing. Bugles and cereal, now you're comparing
and
those
two. Pudding soup.
I think the basis of the question is throwing you after the fact that it is liquidated. It is with milk. It has to be compared to soup. Because if you're asking me, do I pour Rice Krispies in a cup and call it soup, the answer is no.
Okay.
No? You can't compare soup to a cup of Bugles.
No, I can't. So it's just if you would add milk to that. Yeah, soup is not cereal. It's cereal, because cereal starts off as something else and you just add milk to it, or you don't.
CP2
so
Devil
therefore
says,
it means cereal.
I love Canada. I'm more insulting them than Michigan, and you can because they're nice. They'll be like, it's okay. Sorry.
We love Canada. Canadians are our friends. I grew up.
Miss Keiderman has a great point. Cereal is typically a breakfast food, and soup is not. Cereal is most often sweet. Soup is not. She does have a good fucking point there.
I'm not going to compare the times eating, because I think you can eat anything at any time you want. I don't think that has as much implication on the type of food that it is.
Only pizza.
However, I think you go back to the base of it. It starts off as cereal because it's served in a box. Like you said, if I put Pop-Tarts in a bowl and then put milk in it, it doesn't make it soup. Although I probably jokingly would call it Pop-Tart soup.
But would it make it cereal? Because
it'd make it closer to cereal.
I can fight this one. You take little tiny Chips Ahoy cookies, you put them in a bowl of milk. That's cookies with milk. That's cereal. Cereal soup. Cookies are soup.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Soup is breakfast food in Korea. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're eliminating the time frame as
Oh yeah,
as
you
not
didn't
mattering.
even take into
Savory
account other
versus
cultures.
sweet is the best classification on soup versus cereal. I think that's pretty good. I think K.O. Cray and Mrs. K are probably right about that. If we're really breaking it down, which it seems silly that we're actually having this conversation.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to wake up tomorrow and have a bowl of split pea soup for breakfast, and then tomorrow night before you eat your steak, have a bowl of Cocoa Krispies, and tell me if soup and cereal are the same.
I ate some weird stuff, but no, soup and cereal are not the same. They're not the same.
Oh, soup is
cereals.
cooked, but we've already established there's cold soup. So
And there's cold soup and there's different variations of raw soup too. There's so many different kinds of soup that way. But even that, you'll sit there and you'll have cooks sit there and really break down what is soup sometimes if you watch any cooking show. And any chef you ever speak to is going to tell you you're not a chef unless you can make at least one really, really good soup. And nobody's going to try and put freaking tricks in a bowl.
Not if they're amateur. CP2 Devil had another point. He went to science. It's all made from corn, wheat, and potato. Can't fight that.
There we go.
But that gets to the whole thing, like, point. It's all a giant gel in my tummy, but I don't want to eat it in that form. Tummy.
I don't like it. I don't like like I said, it doesn't really apply to me if you add the milk product to it anyway, and it is definitely breakfast, or it's definitely cereal, because I eat it more as a snack.
Cold soup is usually cooked first? The meats
Some
and the
portions
components
can be.
that are going to make you sick?
But they also do raw soup. There's been many variations, particularly vegan. Kai is married to a vegan, and she might be in the chat, so perhaps she can confirm that. But there are vegan soups that are served completely raw.
Absolutely.
And it's specifically soup.
I never thought we would do 10 minutes on soup. Can we do another one?
Yes, we can. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Okay. I like this one, and I tried really hard not to think about it because I don't want to have any preconceived thoughts about any of these. So I waited right before the show to write these down. Why is Donkey Kong named Donkey Kong, and what should his name be? Okay, so that is something I've thought about since I was a little kid. Why the fuck is he Donkey Kong, Kai?
Why the fuck am I Kai Parker?
That's your name.
Yeah, it's his name.
My cat's on drugs. What the hell does he have? Okay.
I think you're on drugs. Can we tell what happened for the show? Heather got on the mic tonight. She's like, I thought we were having another computer. Like, if you guys listen to old school, if you're old school followers, Heather had a demon computer that used to take over our show and make noises and shit. It was really weird. Tonight, Heather's like, somebody's talking, and I'm in a quiet room. My family's nowhere near me. I'm isolated. She's like, you didn't hear someone say they can't breathe with that on? And I'm like, yeah. And that's exactly what it sounded like.
I was freaking out, too.
And then she's like, do you hear that? And I thought we were, again, because this looks like the movie Unfriended, I thought we were all going to die. So I turned on all my lights and told my wife to watch me so I wouldn't be hurt. And then Heather realized, what, Heather?
So I had Facebook open because I was taking down the questions for us right before the show. And
not Facebook.
And I must have clicked on someone's story, so it was just rolling over into other people's stories. So I was hearing someone talk in the background from a Facebook story.
So we thought we were La Llorona or fucking Insidious 2, and Heather's just listening to some anti-vax bitch talk about how she can't wear a mask.
Pretty much. And she decided to put it on her Facebook story, so it was a little depressing about that too. But oh my goodness, yes. So I'm going, why can't she breathe? What is going on? Like, the stuff she was saying was so ominous too. And now it makes sense that it's in the right context, and it isn't a person living in our computer or picking up someone's weird signal.
My Dark Monkey said, my wife said, Kai Parker, why are you not in your prison world? I'm just going to assume that it has something to do with the vampire show on CW.
Vampire Diaries? Yeah, is that is that a Vampire Diaries? I've watched the first couple seasons, but I don't have any reference past, like, the fourth season, like before the originals cast came.
I have 100 Twitter followers because of my name that don't pay attention.
Oh, that's awesome, actually. You should just start pretending that you're him and randomly say stuff, dearest Abigail, and begin them all like that.
Miss Catterman says you can Google Donkey Kong. It's very logical. But that doesn't get to the root of it. We're trying to get to, like, why he's named that. I just look at it like a name. Like, the question is kind of throwing me. Like, why is it Mario?
I think they're specifically saying donkey because he's a monkey or an ape. Why did they call him another creature's name? I think that's what the origin of it is about.
Because it didn't kind of rhyme with Kong.
My cat is coughing. It's not someone dying in the background. My cat's coughing. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's very sad. Mard doesn't have long fur. He has short fur. So sometimes he coughs instead of has hairballs. It sounds really sad, but we think he's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Lovely said, we're answering like we know. I forgot. We have to pretend like we know. It's because of his name. Dummy.
I'm called another creature. He's wharfing on the floor. Yes. Well, okay. So that one, I guess, is just. Does anybody else have any good suggestions?
Sounds
no,
like
Mrs. Kiderman said that there's actual good reason for it. Why has Breadbug not answered this? Breadbug knows all things Mario, Donkey Kong.
By the way, Miss Kiderman really wants to make it known that she doesn't like games, and it is like, as one of the most competitive people that is alive on the earth, Mrs. Kiderman, if there's 2 steps, it's like a Pop-Tart. If you have to open, put it in the toaster, and then kill it, it's cooking. It's too much. She's the same with games. She can't do that much work.
Okay. She is 100% correct that it makes total sense now.
Stubborn ape.
It was, yes, it means stubborn. It was translated from Japan, and it was Donkey Kong because it was stubborn.
We just knew that. We didn't have to Google it. See, Heather's brilliant. Heather and I are brilliant.
Yes, it was. I had all this information in the back of my head, and I just had to hear my cat coughing in order to reach the place of Zen. They could pull it from there.
Drift King was already taken in 1978.
That's fantastic.
They were already prepping.
Denial donkey. Arnold Schwarzenegger's donkey's name is Lulu. She's adorable. Self-defensive ape.
Stubborn in that it won't stop throwing barrels.
That is pretty stubborn. Angry ape probably isn't as appealing. Stubborn ape has some
impervious to criticism. Primate is a horrible name.
It's fun. I like it. It's wordy. It's good. Way to go, Before Times. That sounds before the time. All right, let's do another one. Okay. Why do we drive in parkways and park in driveways?
Because we're fucking idiots. It's America. They don't do that.
That was my first thought. That is exactly what went to my head. Because we're dumb as shit.
Also, when did you last watch George Carlin? Because that's just a Carlin joke, right?
It probably is.
Or is it Gallagher? That's funny that it could be either one of those guys. And
they're so great. They were so great.
One was. One's still alive. I'm pretty sure
Gallagher's still alive?
I haven't heard he's died. I know Carlin's dead.
Charles Grodin died today, and I thought that he'd been dead, so today? I felt like kind of an ass. Yeah. I saw it posted on a couple things. I'm so sorry Charles Grodin died. He was quite lovely. He made me chuckle a lot, many times.
What the fuck is he from? Like Air Bud or something?
I was thinking Heart and Souls.
Nope.
I love that movie.
Is he the one with De Niro and that one? And we're like movie people, so I should do
that one with that one.
The one with that guy. Funny that I don't think is funny with Robert De Niro.
Meet the Parents.
Nope, that one's hilarious. You're wrong.
Nope, that one's not fucking funny. I don't like any of those. They just give me horrible anxiety, and I wish someone would set them on fire. And
Midnight Run. Midnight Run. People are always like Midnight Run, classic, and I'm like,
oh, Beethoven. Yes, I saw that in the theater with my grandma. That was a fun movie.
What did I say? Air Bud? I got the wrong dog movie. That's my bad.
It was Beethoven.
Wasn't he on Benji?
Is he on Benji? I don't know. Why are you going straight to fucking dogs? You're not wrong, though. He did lots of family movies and that kind of thing, too. So
I don't understand the love for Midnight Run. I don't. I've watched it.
I've seen it, but I couldn't sit here and tell you any parts of it because I didn't care.
What was the Martin Short movie
he was in? It wasn't Pure Luck, was it? That was Danny Glover. He wasn't in that, was he? Am I thinking of the wrong one? Pure Luck was hilarious.
Man, hilarious.
You know what I'd like to watch? Captain Ron.
No, nobody.
Nobody
has fucking ever said that. Nobody has said.
I do.
We need to throw on
Captain Ron. Who's seen Captain Ron here? We'll just pull over somewhere and ask
directions.
Let's
go past who's seen it and to who feels they need to see it again.
I own it. I love it.
Clifford. Clifford.
Captain Ron is the best.
We got an answer.
Clifford. Yep. So you're right. You're right with the dogs.
How many fucking dog movies are there? Was he in Marley and Me too?
So many dogs. I watched. Is that the one with Jennifer Aniston?
Yes.
All of the dog ones are sad. Half of them are depressing. You want to see a sad animal movie? Watch The Bear. That will have you curl up in the fetal position for 2 weeks.
Watch Cannibal Holocaust. I won't.
Must
love dogs. No. Must love dog casters. You know, there's a podcast out there all about must love dogs. They break down every 5 minutes. Are you kidding me? Film.
There's gotta be like 20 of them,
and it's slightly better than ours.
Probably not.
It's a lot better than ours.
Ours is the greatest ever. Whatever. Someone said, "Hey, who cleaned up Clifford's big red shits?" When I saw Jurassic Park, I started to think about oversized animal shits.
How do you know they're red?
I think he was just being facetious.
I heard feces.
It's not an Uma. Oh my goodness. All right. So we didn't answer huge parkways, driveways, because fuck it, it's just Americans are dumb.
It's fucking stupid. Doesn't make any sense.
All right.
You could argue parkway is where you park your car. You can't argue a driveway is where you drive. So I'm saying it's just stupid American shit.
It is. All right. This one, I'm interested what you're going to say. What's one question you can never say yes to?
Spider-Man. Oh, that's my go-to. Yes?
What's one question you can never answer yes to?
Would you like to cut off an extremity?
You can never... What if you're going to die, though?
Why would I want to cut... I'm dying, I want to cut off an extremity and make it worse? I could never say
No,
yes.
It could make it better. Say you have gangrene on your foot and it needs to go or you're going to die.
Oh, shit. That's a different situation. Okay.
Exactly. So that's a situation where you could say yes to that particular situation.
Okay. Would you like to come to the prison for some loving?
Oh, gosh. I might say yes to some people with that, though. So I've got one for me.
Okay.
Are you a virgin? I can never say yes to that.
Are cereal and soup the same?
That's a good one. We learned that today. We all came here tonight and learned something important.
Do you think COVID is made up?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Do you think it's rude to fart and run?
What if your wife is in prison? Same rules apply. Because it's
Did
great.
anyone here vote for Dukakis? It's
Wow.
so fucking random, but also very spot on.
And timely. Very timely.
What if your wife is in prison? Oh, that's a very, very good point.
Because it starts lovely. I get there, it's like, oh, finally. And it's just, we're passionate. Cause she's been locked away for a year. Haven't seen each other. I've been outside just taking care of the family, just doing my business because I'm not up to no bad like her, right? So I show up and I'm like, you know what time it is. And she's excited because, like, I know what time. She's like, I know what time it is. So I go in there, but then something goes wrong, and the prison has, like, a fight club. And then I'm, like, pulled into some other weird shit, and there's, like, 4 guys there, and stuff starts happening. And all of a sudden, I'm in sleepers. Not the older kid version, the younger kid version. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't need to be in prisons. I don't want anywhere near a fucking prison.
That was amazing. You've thought about this before.
Oh, yeah. Like, honestly, my worst nightmare is that show where they're, like, fucked up prisons from abroad. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't want to fuck part of that. I don't like our prisons. I'm not going to go that. They don't even have, like, concrete on the floor. It's, like, dirt. And those guys look mean. All
right. So, Mrs. K, if you go to jail for any reason, there will be no jail nookie. There will be no visiting. You'll be pen pals.
Zoom shit. Do some Zoom shit.
That's interesting to know. I'm going to start cataloging the things that unnerve you and you worry about. So I can keep you away from jail.
Nobody's ever gone to prison and come back and be like, you know what, it was a great experience. I'm glad I did it. Like, honestly, it changed my life. They offered to rehabilitate me and they did it. And thank you, America. Never happens.
The Before Time said, who else thought Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantom Show? And I have to say, yes. Indeed, he fucking was.
No, before. The new bomb in Phantoms is the bomb in Batman. Bomb is Batman.
Oh,
Silent J Rebop.
so much bombing.
Silent J-
Dark Monkey says you can't say yes to Are You Asleep?
I just call it a reboot or rebop.
Reboot or rebop?
That's a great one.
Rebop.
That's a
Rebop.
mindfucker. I like that. That's a riddle.
Yep, that's good. It is. Riddle me this. One of my fellow bread bugs went to jail one time. Apparently, bread bugs are a scandalous bunch of motherfuckers.
And you thought
Apologies,
there was one.
bread bug.
The greatest,
Well, now we have bigger things to worry
the
about.
greatest gift the bread bug ever pulled was convincing the world it never existed.
They said they commit arson. I think we should start taking notes on bread bugs.
See,
as
this
well.
is fucked up. He's gonna go to prison, and I'm gonna be somehow have to go in because of this whole show. And they're gonna say I lied. I'm gonna end up in prison, and now my wife's not gonna visit me because I already told her I'm not gonna go visit her.
She's gonna
Thanks,
say
bread
pen
bug.
pals, bitch.
Pen pals. It's a kind person would say, "Let's just be pen pals." You're like, "Pen pals, biatch." That woman didn't give a fuck about you prior to you going in.
It's a dark life. It is indeed. Okay, this one I believe has an answer, and I think I actually
Yeah,
have
I
it.
do.
How
Okay,
many
nothing.
licks? Okay, this is the last one I got.
You already
How
know
many
the
licks
answer.
does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I believe if you listen to Little Kim's song with Cisco, Lil Kim, you have the answer. She has a song called How Many Licks? And I'm not sure if she's referring to the Tootsie Pop, but I think it's probably equal measure.
If it's Little Kim, it's like 69, right?
That's taken a long time. Sometimes a lady doesn't have that much time. Sometimes she has to go to work. Sometimes she has to answer phone calls. Sometimes she has to go
She has to
clean
answer-
her house.
She has to lick the lollipop faster because she has phone calls to make.
Well, I mean, sometimes you could make those phone calls, but I mean, that didn't really work out well for Bill Clinton. So,
But wait, she could be. Okay. Girl. I believe if you listen to the owl, it's under 10.
under 10. Well done. Well done.
And the owl would know
On that one.
because cartoons.
Cartoons are great.
I still want to go back to the girl licking the lollipop, taking phone calls.
Oh, that's Kai. Kai, you're totally missing the boat on that one. That took several turns, and I think you're still going straight down the highway because you're avoiding jail, which is good. You just stay there. You just keep going.
I'm in the driveway.
You're in the driveway. That's probably safest for you. Yeah. Stay in the driveway. Don't even leave. Just go get your mail. Drive your car up to get your mail because I've been imagining you doing this since you started talking about having to go uphill to pick up your mail. Drive your car to the mailbox and then go right back home and don't go anywhere else.
Mr. L. Richard said Mr. L said 3. I love Mr. L. He's full of shit. You lick a Tootsie Pop 3 times and try to bite that motherfucker, you're gonna break 3 molars and it's gonna cost you $2,000.
I know. I've done it before. I listened to Mr. Owl. It was very bad. It's very bad. Oh, well played, Richard. No, down the parkway. Yeah, not down the driveway, the parkway. Mm-hmm. Not an owl, they gangsta. I guess
Is that
owls
how you
are
show
gangster.
you're gangster?
I guess
remember
so.
one person in this movie licking a Tootsie Pop 3 times and crunching the center and being like, that's what's up.
But is an owl gangster? They're kind of like the thugs of the Bird Clan.
Why?
They hang out at night. They're not afraid.
So
they
do
sit
bats.
there and they let people know where they are. They go, hoo, hoo,
No.
hoo. It's their
Completely
gang.
wrong.
It's their gang thing. It's
no.
kind of like Omar coming. I feel it. Yeah, it's fine.
Crows are like the instinct gangsters, and then vultures are the real gangsters.
Oh, that's true. Vultures are
Yeah,
thugs.
come on.
Yeah, they're merciless.
Tell me a more gangster bird
creepy
than a vulture.
motherfuckers. That's well played. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there.
You could also
But
talk,
I like
you could
owls.
also talk
Those are
about
cool.
a parrot talking shit. Parrots talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, but that's the Joker. That would be like the court gesture type one. Not a thug.
Blue Jays?
Blue Jays.
Nah, they're not gangster. They got a. If they were gangster, everyone like took them and monopolized them and made them consumerize them and made them a baseball team. So they lost all cred.
Yeah, weren't they Toronto? Is it Toronto? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah.
I know things.
right
I've been to
above
their
you.
stadium before. That's why I remember. I know things that I shouldn't know.
Owls let the dog out? Question mark.
Hoot, hoot, hoot. That's so
That's a
bad.
That's a great point to end it. Thank you, the before times. You've Who was it? The before? It wasn't the before times. It was the before times. Yeah, that's a good point to end the show, I think.
Okay, we are getting like lots of information about Blue Jays, though. Apparently, they are nasty sons of bitches.
Assholes of birds.
It's true. They be ruthless. They don't build their own nests, and they kill smaller birds and take their nests.
That is kind of gangster. That's kind of gangster.
It is. It is. It's like I'm higher on the food chain, bitch. This is my territory now. Get the fuck out.
Did anybody watch John Oliver last night? Because there was a whole thing about birds on that too, and I feel like I've gotten way more information on birds in the last 2 days than I have in like a year.
Man.
Mordecai,
hey, it's good to know about birds. You're getting older anyway, so you should start learning about birds. I think that's an old guy thing. I think you're supposed to know about birds.
If anything, you're already on cats. You're 1 step from birds. I'm 5 steps from birds. I'm
not struggling with the fact that I'm old and getting older and I'm weird. I'm fucking embracing the shit out of it. I love it.
I don't understand people that have birds as pets.
I don't either. I feel the same way about fish, but I guess I at least understand with fish that it might be kind of relaxing and that kind of thing. But birds,
birdfish comparison is like maybe if you had an atrium, like at the Playboy Mansion, they can have birds because you can devote a football field thing to them.
Some of them have personalities and that kind of thing, and bigger birds. Some talk, I guess. So I suppose I get it. It's not like a turtle. But like the little ones, the parakeets, they just sit there and they make noises. They don't know who you are. They bump into the walls of their cages. It's kind of just strange. I don't know. But like birds that are out there doing their thing, they're fine.
It's like, this thing's pretty. Let's castrate it and just stare at it while it poops on paper.
It's just.
Which is what prison's like, and I don't want to do that.
Well, they're in literal cages, which makes me uncomfortable.
And I feel like they poop on paper sometimes.
They do poop on paper. My best friend growing up had a little bird, and I forgot its stupid name, but she had it forever, and then it died, and she was so sad, and I was just like, what the fuck? I would have been like Carol Ann and Poltergeist, been like, this is a sad moment. I would like some licorice. Let's go do other things. Like, it's a bird. You should have
just taped it back on, like Something About Mary. Just.
No, that was Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber.
Petey's head fell off.
Same movie.
No, Dumb and Dumber is much better. Fuck. There's Something About Mary.
My best friend trained a hummy, I'm assuming hummingbird for cool people.
Yeah.
To eat Fiam, her hand, during Q-teen. This is a lot of abbreviation.
Quarantine.
Oh.
Quarantine. I got it.
Q-teen accomplishment.
Trained from her hand during quarantine. That's kind of neat, actually. Hummingbirds won't even come into their feeders when people are in the window. Sometimes they're really, really shy birds in general.
I
know this because my grandma loved hummingbirds. I don't know shit about birds myself.
I would say
but she would always tell me about them.
3 people not to go outside and do stupid shit, and that's way bigger an accomplishment.
Okay, that's helpful. Certainly, you've definitely helped mankind in that capacity. But I think the 3 people that you trained probably did that on their own as well. So I'd like to give them some credit.
They seem to turn to me often.
I think that's cool about the hummingbird, though. That's actually kind of neat. I wouldn't do that, but I think that's
bird
cool.
Feeders. There we go. Tapeworm said, I don't like birds as pets, but I have a couple bird feeders. Yeah.
That's them. Different. Yeah.
Enjoy them in their world. Much like Jurassic Park. Don't get close. Just put it in a bowl. Throw a lamb up there.
Stop ruining everything.
And hope the electrical lines hold up.
Scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they never stopped to think if they should.
There was a recent problem with bird feeders on the East Coast at the before times.
Something like
gotta make it dark.
The pet food problem. Well, I still don't understand.
She said something like the pet food problem from a few years ago, as if I remember the pet food problem from a few years ago. I have no idea what happened a few years ago.
Oh, you know what? I do remember. It was a couple years ago where there was a bunch of, I don't know if it was certain brands, like one of our local stores that you guys don't have there, Meijer. They're like a Walmart, Kroger type place, Target. They had their animal food brand, dogs, I think it was specifically, and some cat food where it was contaminated or something, but it was across the country, everywhere. And Tapeworm says he doesn't remember what happened 13 seconds ago. Yeah, I understand. My long term's way better. My short term is like shot. I got nothing. I have to write everything down. There was a thing where pets got kidney problems. Well, yeah, thanks for taking us down the sad road there 4 times. But yes, I do recall what you're talking about.
What did I want to end this on previously?
Blue Jays are fucking thugs, I think. I don't know. That's what I want to
Blue Jay
end it
humor,
on.
and now we're to like dogs dying. Who has something more depressing than go out? I've already brought up prison.
I would like to bring up prison sex because that could be good
No.
when the parties are consensual. Okay.
Yeah,
Listen
and
to a
they
Tool
so
song
often are
or
in
Pussy
prison.
Fire.
How many people have you met that was like, we were in prison, and then I saw his eyes, and then we courted, because people say that, and we've lived happily ever after? No.
Did you ever watch Orange is the New Black? There was lots of love. There was so much love. There was courting.
It's very aggressive. No.
What's wrong with aggressive? Aggressive is just putting it out there, just cutting through the bullshit. It's fine.
You have to
as long as it's reciprocal.
You have to court. I don't know why I'm saying courting. That's some shit my grandma did. You have to date. You have to court, and then you have to ask your mother for permission and see if the royal bloodline will accept you into the family. No.
I don't think it matters once you've been in prison, darling. I don't think anyone cares.
There's no rules
We've all been kicked out from the family. Yep, it's all done.
Spit your head and have your way.
No, nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. They're just like, fuck them. They're gone. See another day. I don't know why my nose has to go up when I talk like this.
British.
It's funny.
I like somebody said British. Without
British,
the T.
mate.
That's a great way to put it. That's all.
British.
That's how you pronounce it. It's like.
Well done there, bread bug. Well done.
It's like saying my cocaine to say my cocaine.
My cocaine.
Just spell it out and you got it.
My cocaine.
All right, you guys. This has been fun and depressing. We appreciate you turning. This was actually really fun, so we might do this again.
It did.
I've had a lot of fun on this and the Google thing. Like we had like a blast with this, and it was like really nice for you guys to tune in and help us out with that.
As we talked about earlier, games are fun. Whatever games you're playing are fun. I also got sucked into a black hole. Well, I've been there. Let's not do that again. People's asses are getting grabbed in the chat. I mean, things are getting out of control here. We should probably.
Well, it is the MILFcast. Don't Google.
It's
don't
true.
Google image search it. Just Google it.
It's true.
All right. So who are we gonna go raid tonight, Heather? Good night, guys. Thank you so much. Who are we gonna go raid?
Let's see if any of our friends are on first. We'll check that out. Cameron Creates is on, and that's all we've got on. Do you want to go to Cameron, or should we find someone new? Yeah, we haven't gone to Cameron in a while, so I'm gonna send everybody to let's raid Richmond. Oh well.
You guys don't take the prison talk. Just take the Blue Jay stuff.
Yeah, no, the Blue Jays kind of thuggish, ruggish though. Leave Inkster out. Oh, God, we don't have Jenga. Talk Jenga, guys. Be Jenga. Ask about Jenga.
Giant Jenga.
And Otter
friend's
ice pops.
Giant.
And Otter's ice pops. Those are the nice things.
Giant Jenga was built for my best friend's children. They're gigantic.
All right, go talk about all those Jenga and Otter pops and be all lovely. And say the MILFcast sent ya. We love ya. I think you went.
There
I'm
they
looking.
Go.
And there they go. You're off.
All right, let's love this stream.